Look at this. Why the hell is the FAFSA asking what type of white I am? I don't think I have ever been asked what type of white person I am ever before. I mean, this isn't a bad thing. I'm just like, when did this start happening? Because you know what I mean? Usually you just hit white and then you move on with your day. They don't have any other questions, usually. I don't know who they is. I'm thinking all the other forms I've ever filled out. Usually you just hit white and move on. Girl, my dad's adopted. I don't even know. Why the hell is the FAFSA asking what type of white I am? I don't think I have ever been asked what type of white person I am ever before.
Hey, yo, so this is bad.
I'm going to just focus on one group because that's the one that I am most, accustomed to because I grew up around them. Italians. Hey, you Italians for Trump? You're olive oil infused. You're not purely white. Just remember that. East Asians. That model minority shit is a crock of shit. Arabs. Specifically the ones from Egypt. You're not white. You're African. You will always be African. Hispanics and Latinos for Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. How's that going for y'all? Specifically you Cubans in Miami-Dade. I haven't heard a peep from them since La Migra, ICE, stepped foot up on the scene. South and Southeast Asians. This is the craziest one. The Native Americans for Trump is beyond understanding for me. Not even gonna touch it. And then of course we have blacks. Blacks for Trump. Black MAGA, Blagga, whatever the fuck you want to call them. You tap dancing, Michigan J Frog, top hat wearing Sambos. None of us were ever safe unless you were completely male white. The United States has always had a caste system. You bobos were just so goddamn stupid to realize. Now you have white people being asked what type of white they are.
A lady asked a question, then the internet responded with a lot of lectures. I hope you're ready for it. Credit to the creators for giving us this opportunity, and thank you to all my return subscribers. I really appreciate your work. If you haven't subscribed, please do not forget to join the growing community. I really appreciate that. Go down there, turn on your bell notification, and join the conversation. This lady, she asked her question, and the internet just took us to another level by us learning about history. For some of us that, maybe we did not know about this one, this is a great opportunity for us to learn. Let's go listen. Then we had more commentary.
No, but not everyone with pale skin was considered white throughout the 18 and 1900s. For example, in American history, Southern and Eastern European countries were considered white. Like Irish, Italians, Greek, Polish, Jews, Slavs. They were considered not fully white because they are now racially related to the Anglo-Saxons, including Arabs and Czechs like Czechoslovakia. They were not in the process of becoming white until like the mid-20th century during and after World War II. This is when they started opening the door to Eastern and Southern Europeans. This is also around the same time America decided to open its borders to allow Asian immigrants into the country after the Civil Rights Bill. When the Civil Rights passed, so did the borders and the opportunity to become white. This is where the model minority myth came into play for Eastern Asians. Let's scale this. First is the whiteness of Anglo-Saxon descent. They get all the power and the superiority. 2 is Southern and Eastern Europeans. Number 3 is the model minority of Eastern Asians, not Southeast, not Southern. Then it became Arabs, then Hispanics, then Native Americans, then Black people. This was the newfound racial hierarchy after World War II and the Civil Rights Movement. This was the best way they can maintain order, superiority, supremacy, and all. First, it was white Anglo-Saxons and everybody else at the bottom. But there was a problem, and that was strength in numbers. It was more of all of us than them, so they tipped the scales to benefit their power. Now here we are in 2026, they are now in the position where they can quietly segregate the rest of Southern and Eastern Europeans. It was expected for Black people to get hit first, but they didn't do that because it was expected of them. They hit the Hispanic and Latinos first, then Native Americans, then Black people, then Arabs, then Asians, And now they're hitting Eastern and Southern Europeans. It was all strategic. We were all a target from day one. None of us were safe.
Gotta say credit to that guy. Credit to the creator for giving us that lecture in less than 2 minutes. Just because the lady asked a question and she posted it online, it's gonna give a lot of people to learn about this history. Are y'all learning? Let's keep listening.
It is a bad thing because they're trying to classify you based upon if you're white enough. I mean, they shouldn't be asking for your race at all. That's why I always checked other and everything that I did, because they want to determine whether or not you're worthy enough to have access to higher education and who should take priority. It's racism.
You know how we keep saying that they're coming for you next? It's not going to take long until it's at your doorstep. Specifically in the context of, who are they going to make you hate once they've deported all of the brown people? I'm going to show you something that I just screenshot from someone else's post that stopped me in my fucking tracks. But first, let me tell you about how whenever I had to fill out demographic information in school, starting in kindergarten, the options were Caucasian white, Black, non-white Hispanic, Native American, and by the way, non-white Hispanic was non-white / Hispanic, as if those were somehow the same thing, Native American, Asian / Pacific Islander. Similarly, I didn't think that those were the same thing. And then there was the other. As a child, wanting to just be as honest as possible, I chose Asian / Pacific Islander. I didn't think that those were the same thing. As you know, I'm Persian, a region that is located in West Asia. That's West Asian, not Middle Eastern. Middle East, according to who decolonized that. So anyway, later in life, I find out from someone, very accusatorily, by the way, that I was supposed to be putting white this whole time. And I'm like, white? And they're like, yeah, you're literally Caucasian. And I'm like, yeah, but have I had a Caucasian experience? Was I the girl with the stinky food at lunch who then had to beg her mom to make her white people food? So I went from delicious rice and stew dishes in a Tupperware to bologna and cheese because I was too embarrassed. Was I treated like a pariah after 9/11? Did kids always ask me, starting in elementary school, whether my dad was going to school? Yes to all of these. So obviously I was surprised when I learned that I was supposed to be putting white this whole time. But ask me why I feel vindicated right now. Someone just posted a video from her FAFSA application wherein they are asking her to define what kind of white she is. German, Irish, English, Italian, Polish, French, other white? Other white? These are the ones that they hear about though. Why? A, I don't see Persian on here, and I also don't see anything West Asian on here, or a big enough group that if they intended to make that white, it would have been white. That's why I feel vindicated. But I also feel vindicated for another reason. What do you think this is for? If I've learned nothing in the last 3-ish years, it's that they don't collect data for no reason. What do you suppose this is for? Why would FAFSA, Financial Aid for College, care about what kind of white you are? I wonder if this would be a good time to remind everyone of how they used to treat some of these whites in this country.
Because 1920s racism is making a roaring comeback, and something that people need to understand, when Irish, Eastern Europe, Italians, Slavs, Poles, etc., when they came here, they were heavily discriminated against. They were considered genetically inferior. Let me give you some clear examples. This is how they used to depict Italians. You see on the boat there, it says the slums of Europe. Mafia written on his head there. So forth. This is how they were depicting Irish people, Catholic Irish people, how they were destroying the Democrat Party. Another depiction of Italians with their black hands on the laws of the United States because they were so crime-ridden. Here you got the comparison of Irish people to black people, and of course the real white person, the Anglo, in the middle there. And of course you also got depictions of the Irish thug. Yes. Do not let a single conservative right-winger, when they talk about immigration, talk about how this was supposed to be for a land of white people. And all that immigration early 1900s, those were white people. Because they were not considered white. They were considered mentally inferior, genetically inferior. Eugenics has become a really big practice, especially around 1912, 1913, when they had a eugenics conference over in London. The peak, which was like the peak year of that entire movement. And a lot of these people who were coming here were sterilized, because they were genetically inferior. They were not white.
So all of that, we are going to say credit to the creators for giving us the opportunity to learn and to be able to add our commentary. Go down there in the comment section, add your comment. What do you feel about this? A lot of people do not expect this to happen. A lot of white do not expect this to happen. And that's why it took some people by surprise. Like, okay, what do you mean by what kind of white I am? So that's why this back and forth is going on. And I believe we've learned something. I believe we have learned something from this. We're going to say credit to that lady that popped the question and put it online. What do you think? Let's continue the conversation down there. We want to make this short so we can go and, rewatch it and learn. It is time for us to start learning, and I really appreciate this content. I am going to see you in the next one. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't. Thank you to all my return subscribers. Bye for now.